What if Eve wasn't the first woman at all? What if hidden within the lines of Genesis lies a figure long forgotten, a secret of creation waiting to be uncovered? Picture a world before humanity, the soil rich with potential, where the very spirit of womanhood flickered just beyond our sight. In this sacred garden, what unspoken truths linger, and whose story has quietly faded into myth? As we peel back the layers of this ancient narrative, awakening our curiosity and wonder, are we brave enough to ask not just who this woman was, but also what her existence means for all of us today? In the vibrant tapestry of creation, have you ever paused to wonder what the Genesis accounts reveal about not just who we are, but how we define ourselves and our place in the cosmos? The familiar narrative unfolds in two distinct acts, one where man and woman emerge in a harmonious union, and another that depicts woman being intricately crafted from the very side of man, invoking a sense of companionship yet implying a deeper dependency. But what of the shadows that linger behind this narrative? While Eve stands as the mother of all living, what does it truly signify for the unseen woman who walked the earth before her? The enigmatic Lilith, ancient Jewish tradition, almost whispering through the corridors of time, tells of a fierce spirit who steadfastly defied subjugation and faded into obscurity, leaving behind an echo of strength and independence that challenges the very essence of femininity as we know it. As Lilith's tale intertwines with Eve's, we are invited to reflect on our own identities. Are we, like Eve, defined by our origins, or do we emanate from the wild, untamed landscapes of our own desires and aspirations, much like Lilith? This profound juxtaposition presents a compelling inquiry. What secrets lie buried within our understandings of womanhood? And how do these diverse narratives shape our beliefs and experiences today? The striking imagery of these two women, one intricately woven into the fabric of history and the other torn from the tapestry of memory, evokes a reflection that resonates deeply within us. Together, they compel us to explore what it truly means to be a woman, to hold the power of creation in our hands, and to confront the stories that have been told, silenced, or forgotten about us throughout time. This spiritual journey is not merely about the pursuit of answers. It is a passionate quest to reclaim identities that have too long been shrouded in silence and misinformation. As we delve deep into this narrative, we begin to realize that our journey is interconnected, urging us to embrace both the forgotten tales and the well-trodden paths, fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves, a recognition of our strength, resilience, and the multifaceted nature of femininity that exists even in the shadows of history. What if, through embracing both Eve and Lilith, we could uncover an intricate map of womanhood that guides us toward empowerment, illuminating paths we once thought lost? Are we ready to confront the complexities of our past, reclaim the narratives intertwined with our present, and ignite conversations that propel us into a future where every woman's story is affirmed and celebrated? In this light, we can see how our individual journeys contribute to a collective legacy, one that honors all aspects of our identities and the divine power we each possess. Less than less than less than and greater than greater than greater than. As we embark on this enlightening exploration of Genesis, we uncover not just one, but two profoundly distinct accounts of creation that challenge and enrich our understanding of existence itself. The first narrative, often overlooked in favor of the more familiar tale, introduces us to a world where humanity is crafted in the divine image, male and female intricately woven together in an act of creation that resonates with a promise of equality. This foundational story suggests a deep, intrinsic partnership that reverberates through the corridors of history, a hidden river flowing just beneath the surface of our cultural consciousness. In stark contrast, the second narrative depicts Eve's emergence, not as a cherished companion, but as an afterthought, drawn from Adam's rib. This powerful imagery casts a long shadow over traditional interpretations of gender dynamics, raising uncomfortable questions about hierarchy and the roles we play within our relationships. In this moment, we find ourselves standing at a crossroads, where one tale whispers of mutual respect and equality, while the other lingers on the implications of dominance and subservience. Can you sense the gravity of these contrasting stories pressing against your very understanding of love and connection? As we delve into these layered narratives, let us visualize a lush and vibrant garden, its flora intertwined like the fates of these two creation stories, inviting us to reflect on how both narratives intricately contribute to our current perspectives on dignity, partnership, and respect. The deeper we dive into the text, the more we realize that Genesis is not merely a historical artifact. It is a living dialogue that urges us to listen attentively, compelling us to reassess the beliefs we hold dear and the narratives we perpetuate. Are you prepared to journey into this intricately woven tapestry of creation, where each thread not only has the power to reshape our understanding of sacred texts, but also to transform the essence of our humanity in interactions with one another? With every revelation we uncover, a new light shines upon the timeless truths nestled within these ancient chapters, beckoning us to awaken to their relevance in our lives today. Let us embrace this challenge together, pondering the significance of these stories as we seek to reconcile our present with our past, ushering in understanding, healing, and a deeper connection to both ourselves and the divine. As we reflect on the tales shaping our spirituality, many remember sunlit Sundays in Sunday school, where we first heard Eve's story. She's not just the first woman, but a divine masterpiece, crafted from Adam. Over generations, we've woven this narrative into our beliefs, a treasured truth passed down through hearts. Yet, beneath this reverence, a question stirs within us. What if the portrayed image is just a fragment of a deeper truth? In Genesis 2:21-22, we witness a moment of divine intimacy where woman emerges from man, as the heavens seem to hold their breath for that sacred creation moment. This narrative invites us to explore further. Peering beneath the surface of familiar teachings may kindle doubt, encouraging us to question the pillars of our understanding that define us. Does this creation narrative reveal insights about our relationship with the divine? What impact do these doctrines have on our choices, relationships, and self-identity? Embrace that doubt. It compels growth and deepens faith. As we unravel long-held beliefs, let's reflect on our existence, acknowledging how ancient truths influence our modern lives, often in ways we don't fully grasp or seek understanding, not just answers, as we navigate our spirituality, finding beauty in our questions. As we ponder Eve's origins, consider the breath of life within us, reflecting the Creator's intention. Could our stories intertwine with hers, each crafted for a purpose? This sacred creation symbolizes a promise of connection that transcends Eden. Life's complexities invite us to engage with faith, deepening our spirituality. Every question we ask propels us toward richer understanding of humanity, love, and the divine presence walking alongside us. Let's cherish our moments of reflection, honoring the spiritual journey ahead, with each step a testament to our quest for meaning in life's intricate tapestry. Imagine a world that began as a blank canvas, still and untouched, when suddenly two souls strove to awaken to one another's existence. From the rich, nurturing dust of the earth, God carefully forms Adam, a solitary figure imbued with potential, a being created not just to exist, but to experience the fullness of life. Yet, the creation does not stop there. From Adam's very side, God shapes Eve, not merely as an aid or companion, but as the essential heartbeat of his being, intricately woven to form a bond that transcends mere companionship. This act of creation is nothing short of divine artistry, each curve and contour meticulously realized, embodying a connection that hints at the sacred intertwining of their destinies. When God presents Eve to Adam, it's more than a union of flesh. It's a moment heavy with anticipation and awe, as if the very heavens paused to witness this genesis of partnership. Can you picture the silence that enveloped them just before Adam spoke? A gaze exchanged, carrying the immense weight of creation itself, where time seems to hold its breath, and each heartbeat reflects the pulse of newfound life and that sacred space. One can nearly sense the echo of every previous moment that brought them together. Their meeting wasn't just a chance occurrence. It was the culmination of a divine plan, where intent and purpose converge. And then, in an act of profound significance, Adam names her Eve, Chava, the life giver, the embodiment of potential itself. Here, he doesn't merely assign a label. He conjures the promise of future generations with every syllable uttered, unlocking a cascade of potential that will birth life itself. This name becomes more than a title. It's a symbol of depth and purpose, marking her as the matriarch, destined to be the source of countless stories yet to unfold. In that instant, Adam's choice elevates the act of naming to a sacred proclamation, honoring their shared legacy in ways that resonate across the ages. As we ponder their relationship, we might ask ourselves, how often in our daily lives do we overlook the profound significance of the words we speak to those we love? Are we truly recognizing our loved ones as the extraordinary gifts they are, each infused with divine purpose and potential? The bond between Adam and Eve invites us not just to admire, but to reflect deeply on our own connections today, inviting us to cherish them, to recognize the echoes of eternity within our modern relationships, and to understand that our words, too, hold the power to illuminate and to create, reminding us that in the tapestry of our lives, we are all threads woven with intention. What if the true story of creation is woven with complexities that challenge our perceptions, rather than being a straightforward tale? For countless generations, the narrative has unfolded like an ancient tapestry. Adam is painstakingly formed from clay, every breath imbued with divine purpose, and soon after, Eve is brought forth from his very rib, sanctified as his companion and helper. Many find solace in this interpretation, confident that they've reached the endpoint of this sacred story. Yet, as the dust of ages settles over these holy texts, we must delve beyond the surface, confronting the inherent contradictions that ripple beneath our understanding. Picture yourself in that emblematic garden, where the fragrance of blooming flowers fills the air with hope and the weight of existence hangs palpably. As you witness Adam's heartfelt exclamation, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh," you sense that those words resonate with something deeper than mere declaration. They unveil a profound connection, a testament of recognition and shared essence, echoing through the corridors of time. Yet, if Eve is indeed the first woman, why do we sense the presence of other figures lurking in the shadows, or even hear murmurs from age-old oral traditions hinting at alternate origins? Each twist and turn within this narrative invites us, urging us to explore the labyrinth of thought that lies before us. It beckons us to scrutinize the foundations of our beliefs about creation, existence, and femininity, without the burden of judgment or fear of heresy. Are we truly prepared to peel back the layers of this enigmatic narrative, questioning the certitudes that so often bind us, and exploring what it truly means to be made in the image of God? This journey is not just an intellectual exercise. It's a heartfelt invitation to embrace the wonder of uncertainty, to step bravely into the complex interplay of belief, identity, and divine intention. Together, let us wander through this sacred space, exploring the depths of our understanding, reaching for answers that shimmer like starlight on the horizon beyond the garden's edge. illuminating the path toward a richer, more nuanced revelation of who we are meant to be. Let the stories of old inspire us, reminding us that the essence of our beings is intertwined in a greater mystery, one that transcends time and challenges us to live with curiosity, love, and an open heart. In doing so, we not only honor the narrative but also the very spirit of creation itself, embracing every complexity and celebrating the profound grace that surrounds us. Have you ever paused to grasp the profound significance of that pivotal moment when creation, with a divine breath, awakened everything into existence? For countless believers, this isn't merely a revered story. It serves as a sacred affirmation that Eve, born from Adam, symbolizes the dawn of womanhood. Yet, let's venture beyond tradition for a moment and consider an exhilarating possibility. What if this glorious unveiling is not merely the beginning of one narrative, but rather the inception of a magnificent tapestry woven from many threads? The Genesis creation account invites us to immerse ourselves in its depths, urging us to visualize not merely Adam and Eve, but an extraordinary symphony where humanity, both male and female, was brought forth simultaneously, as if each life echoed the very essence of the Creator's loving heartbeat. Can you picture that scene? Visualize vibrant colors and the pure energy of creation swirling through the heavens as the Almighty shapes beings in His own image, instilling in them unparalleled equality and divine purpose. Two integral halves of a radiant mosaic that together reflects His infinite glory. So, might we gently inquire ourselves, could the focus on Eve in Genesis chapter 2 actually be a guiding light directing our attention toward a much larger truth? A pivotal insight advocating unity and harmony, rather than division? To truly understand this magnificent reality, let us rewind the narrative, not to the confines of the garden with its familiar tales, but to the breathtaking chorus of creation itself, where the stage was magnificently set for humanity's divine and beautiful journey from the very beginning. In this moment of creation, we uncover the rich and intertwined essence of both man and woman, crafted as partners in the sacred act of life itself, a harmonious unity perfectly reflecting the beauty of the divine. The beauty and intricacy of this unity echo through time, asking us to embrace its profound message, that we are not merely separate beings, but a collective embodiment of divine intent, woven together in a dance of shared existence. As we lean into this understanding, we glimpse the deeper purpose behind creation, a calling to celebrate our differences while standing firmly united in purpose and spirit, reflecting the diverse attributes of the Almighty in every facet of life. Have you ever taken a moment to truly marvel at the stunning harmony encapsulated at the very beginning of Scripture? Genesis 1 unfolds like a masterful symphony, where each note intertwines, creating a vibrant world filled with breathtaking beauty and divine order. As we journey through the 6 days of creation, we witness light piercing the shroud of darkness, the sky embracing the vastness of the sea, and purpose binding it all in a seamless tapestry, a divine choreography meticulously crafted by the Creator Himself. And then, on that monumental 6th day, the narrative crescendos to a breathtaking revelation. So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female He created them. This is not just a sentence. It is a powerful proclamation of unity and equality, suggesting that both man and woman are integral to the original plan, partners in the grand design of existence, rather than mere afterthoughts in the narrative. Imagine for a moment, standing amidst this extraordinary scene, witnessing the divine unveiling of creation. Would the arrival of Eve feel less like a standalone event and more like the final flourish of a grand overture, beautifully completing a majestic composition? In this celestial realm, God's artistry radiates through every facet, where each detail resonates with purpose. Why then, Does this first chapter, resplendent in its majesty, demand our complete attention? It calls upon us to reevaluate our perceptions of each other, nudging us to recognize that we are all drawn from the same divine source, each of us uniquely reflecting that luminous image. Picture what it might mean for us, instead of clinging to notions of division, to embrace the profound unity inherent in our creation, acknowledging that every soul carries the indelible mark of the Creator's hand. Allow that pulse of wonder to wash over you as we delve deeper into this narrative, for the story of humanity commences here, beautifully entwined and irresistibly connected, revealing a richer truth about our shared identity and purpose in the grand tapestry of life. Let us reflect, in this harmony of existence, how we contribute to this masterpiece, leaving our own unique marks as we walk forward in this divine journey of creation. In the stillness of Eden, a tranquil haven steeped in silence that enfolds you like a soft, comforting blanket, we are invited into a sacred tableau that resonates with the very core of our human nature, the profound essence of companionship. Genesis chapter 2 unveils this pivotal moment, stripping away the expansive grandeur of the cosmos, and instead, illuminating the intimate heartbeat of existence itself. Here, we do not witness the birth of humankind as just another celestial event. Rather, we are drawn into an emotional world defined by connection and longing. Adam draws his first breath, awakening as if from a tender dream, intricately shaped from the dust while imbued with the very breath of God. It feels remarkably personal, like the exhilarating spark of a beloved relationship blossoming before our eyes amidst the lush spirals of Eden. God observes with a loving gaze as animals parade through the verdant foliage. Each creature symbolizes a potential companionship, yet they fail to fill that profound void seated deep within Adam's heart. A poignant question arises in this moment of solitude. What does it genuinely mean to feel incomplete? The earth around is teeming with life and vibrancy, yet not one being resonates with Adam's innermost essence. It is in the contrast of his isolation that we understand the great depth of human longing for connection. In this garden, we see reflected not just the beauty of creation, but the aching desire that dwells within us all, the yearning for someone who understands, who sees us fully. Then comes the moment that forever alters the course of existence. A deep sleep enveloping Adam, the gentle removal of a rib, both surgical and sacred, where God intricately crafts not just a partner, but a reflection of Adam's very soul. This act symbolizes the sublime union of two lives destined to entwine, revealing the depths of relational intimacy. The details of this divine creation echo the gentle, loving caress of the Creator's hand, reminding us of the precious connections we aspire to forge in our own lives, relationships that embody vulnerability, love, and intimacy in their purest forms. The story of Eve is not solely about the first woman. It shines a light on our universal desire for connection, reverberating through time and space as a powerful reminder that we, too, yearn for that sacred companionship, one that mirrors the divine essence from which we are all formed. In this narrative, we find hope, a depiction of love that transcends time, urging us to seek, cherish, and cultivate the bonds that define our very existence. What if the stories we believe to be fixed truths were merely the surface of a much more profound reality waiting to be uncovered? As we delve deeper into the layers of Genesis, the narrative begins to unfold, revealing itself not as two separate accounts of creation, but as a beautifully intricate tapestry woven together with threads of divine intimacy and equality, each strand vibrating with significance. Picture yourself standing at a magnificent overlook, where the expansive panorama of heaven's insight converges with the gritty, raw experience of humanity on the ground. In this sacred space, we are beckoned to explore not merely the apparent contradictions of these narratives, but to grasp the rich interconnectivity between them. akin to time-worn stones resting in a riverbed, each polished by the relentless currents of divine purpose. As we ponder this complexity, a deep question emerges. Are we merely peering into disjointed accounts? Or is this a compelling invitation to embrace the multifaceted nature of truth? As we navigate through these layered dimensions, we start to realize that what might appear as contradictions may, in fact, serve to fortify the bond between our heavenly aspirations and our earthly realities. Beyond the surface of these stories lies an awe-inspiring mystery, a truth that calls us to reconsider not only our identities, but also the passionate ways we engage with the divine narrative that unfolds in our lives. Each new layer we uncover invites us to reconnect, to reflect, and to witness the profound tapestry of existence that binds us all together. What might we discover if we choose to view both narratives not as opposing forces, but as complementary reflections of the same divine heartbeat, echoing through time and space? This challenge leads us to contemplate the sacred harmony that can emerge when we embrace the full spectrum of the narrative, inviting us to weave our own unique threads into this grand design of creation. Imagine standing at the crossroads of creation, with the cosmic dust swirling around you, and your heart races as you ponder a profound question. Who was that first woman, intricately molded from the very essence of divinity itself? While Eve's name may glide effortlessly off the tongues of many, swirling in the breeze of tradition, the shadows whisper secrets of a powerful predecessor waiting to be reclaimed. Lilith. Can you picture her? A fearless spirit rising from the nurturing soil of the Garden of Eden, demanding not just to be seen, but to be celebrated, to be known as an embodiment of strength? Histories intertwine like roots beneath the surface, where scholars and sages, those ancient architects of thought and faith, unearthed her compelling story and nestled it deep within the heart of Jewish folklore. It is through their voices, echoing from the depths of the Talmud and Midrash, that we discover a tantalizing possibility. What if, just what if, Genesis holds not a singular narrative of creation, but a vibrant duality, an empowering dichotomy of feminine spirit? Lilith emerges not merely as a forgotten echo of the past, but as a formidable force, defiantly challenging the very foundations of order and hierarchy, daring to assert her agency in a world that sought to minimize her. Her proud refusal to bend to Adam's will is a bold act of rebellion, a potent legacy that speaks to women across generations, reminding us all to reflect. How often do we silence the voices that demand equality and justice? As we trace the intricate outline of her story, we hear the rustle of a strength that reverberates far beyond ancient scrolls, echoing through today's struggles and desires for empowerment. In her, we find not only a symbol of rebellion, but a mirror reflecting our own battles against depression and strife. Lilith stands as a resounding testament to defiance, not merely to question tradition, but to ignite deeper truths about our shared humanity and our collective right to be heard. Every ancient tale invites us to peer beyond the surface of history and engage with the profound. Could it be that in embracing the spirit of Lilith, we might uncover our own inner strength to rise, resist, and redefine what it truly means to be acknowledged and valued in a world longing for balance and justice? What legacies are we willing to reclaim? And how will they shape the essence of the future we dare to build? What if the foundations of our stories are built on shadows, hidden truths waiting to be unearthed? Lilith, an enigmatic figure often marginalized in traditional narratives, emerges from the depths of history, bearing her truth, an ancient fire kindled by defiance and courage. Crafted not from Adam's rib, but from the very same dust, she was never an afterthought. She was his mirror, forged as an equal, sharing in the essence of creation. Picture her gaze, fierce and unwavering, locking eyes with Adam as she boldly challenges the status quo with the depth of her convictions. Why should I submit and lie beneath you? She implores, her voice fierce and resonant with purpose. In that pivotal moment, she is not merely rejecting a role. She is dismantling the very chains of expected compliance that bind so many. By invoking the sacred name of God, an act of profound bravery laden with spiritual significance, she chooses to flee Eden's confines, vanishing into the vast wilderness where freedom reigns over oppression. Her choice sends ripples through the ages, igniting a vital conversation about autonomy that resonates with countless women today. Who among us has not grappled with the heavy expectations society places upon us? If Eve embodies the notion of partnership born from another's bone, could Lilith instead symbolize the raw, untamed spirit of independence, the fierce will to chart one's own destiny? Her story, often relegated to whispers rather than celebrated under the bright lights of Sunday sermons, beckons us to reflect on the profound power of choice and the intricate layers of our own acts of defiance. Are we courageous enough to embrace our truths, no matter the wilderness we might have to navigate to push against the confines that seek to define us? As we delve into Lilith's world, we encounter an echo of our own struggles, a timeless quest for dignity, respect, and the right to choose our paths, challenging us to reclaim the stories we tell in the light of our own experiences. Lilith teaches us that to truly live is to engage in the messy act of fighting for one's place in the narrative, refusing to be erased or silenced. She implores us to honor our voices and our realities, no matter how uncomfortable or challenging they may be. In recognizing her, we hold up a mirror to ourselves and to each other, asking, what is the wilderness I must traverse to find my own truth? In this way, Lilith becomes not just a figure of ancient lore, but a vital icon of our modern struggles, a testament to the power of self-liberation, urging us onwards on our own courageous journeys. Have you ever considered the deep implications of being created not merely as a solution, but as a heartfelt response to something missing? As we journey through Eve's narrative, we are faced with the haunting idea that her existence directly reacts to the incompleteness left by Lilith. Some interpretations of Genesis suggest an original creation where humanity existed in divine symmetry, united in purpose, free of hierarchy. This ideal portrays cosmic balance, where love grew from equality. Yet, the stark contrast emerges in the story of a solitary man and a woman formed from his side, provoking unsettling questions. Could Lilith have been erased from sacred texts? Or does she remain a shadow, an undiscovered treasure obscured by evolving cultural narratives? In the book of Isaiah, the name Lilith appears, cloaked in mystery, referred to as a creature of the night, some translations even calling her a screech owl, symbolizing the ignored and forgotten, demanding acknowledgement. Who was Lilith? Was she a symbol of wild freedom, defying societal constraints? Or a misunderstood figure striving for independence, overshadowed by misconceptions? Viewing Eve's creation through this lens elevates her role from mere companionship to a vital aspect of existence. This compels us to reflect on our journeys, the nuances of human connections, and the voids left by those before us. The invisible tension, the emotional and spiritual struggle, calls us to mend what is broken while honoring those whose stories shaped our past. As we peel back layers, we face a profound inquiry. Can we embrace the complexity of our origins? Does our understanding of womanhood rise above the fear of solitude, leading us to a space where love and individuality thrive? Importantly, can we recognize and celebrate the tales of figures like Lilith, whose shadows urge us to confront overlooked truths? Every layer reveals another aspect of our existence, guiding us toward understanding the timeless search for identity and belonging that resonates through the ages. Imagine, if you will, a figure standing resolutely at the edge of paradise, a wild heart forged in the fires of creation. This is Lilith, a name both rare and resonant, whispering through the corridors of our collective history. At the very core of her narrative lies not the wickedness that has long been ascribed to her, but a fierce defiance against subservience, a primal cry that rises from the depths of existence and boldly proclaims, "I am your equal." Her presence stirs a profound mystery lurking within the seemingly straightforward verses of Genesis. What if these words conceal an intricate tapestry, richly interwoven with truths yet to be discovered, patiently waiting for the curious souls driven enough to unearth them? Could there be an untold narrative beneath the familiar tale of creation, one that challenges everything we thought we knew? Consider this. When Lilith walked away from Adam, did she turn back in hesitation? Or was it a definitive assertion of her autonomy, a dramatic leap into the unknown that allowed her to claim her rightful space in the cosmos? Imagine the ripples of that choice echoing through generations. How would you have stood in her shoes? Would you, too, have ventured into the veiled darkness, choosing the uncertainty of freedom over the stifling cage of conformity? Now, let's journey deeper into this labyrinth of revelation. If we delve into the very essence of Genesis, searching through the original Hebrew words, we may find concealed meanings and treasures that centuries of interpretation have overlooked. As we begin to peel back the layers of these ancient letters, those silent guardians of profound histories, awaiting our inquiry, a mere shift in a single character or a subtle change in tense could unlock the secrets buried beneath years of silence, calling out for attention. This is the sacred realm where scripture pauses and folklore rises, dignified yet vibrant, hinting at tales still shrouded in mystery. In this hallowed space, we confront the enigma of Lilith once more. While her name may remain absent from the pages of Genesis, her silhouette lingers like ethereal moonlight dancing on hidden waters, a ghostly reminder of rebellion and self-identity, echoing through the labyrinths of human consciousness and beckoning us to explore the intricate intersections of myth and reality. Why do we fear the echoes of those who dared to defy? Perhaps it's because their stories, tightly woven into the fabric of our understanding, challenge us to look beyond the constraints of tradition. Let us stare into the depths where myth intertwines with history and contemplate the possibility of rewriting our own narratives, reclaiming the parts of ourselves that society may have shadowed. What truths might we unveil when we open our hearts to the legacy of Lilith, whose defiance reminds us all to seek our own paths toward liberation? In the shadow of creation's dawn, who exactly was Lilith? Was she merely a reaction to the complexities of womanhood, a narrative twisted into the shape of superstition? Or could she signify something far more profound, an emblem of untamed strength and an unyielding spirit? Delving into the ancient letters of the alphabet of Ben Sira, dated back to the 8th century, transports us to a world where Lilith emerges not as a demon of chaos, but as Adam's original equal, crafted from the very same soil, her essence woven into his. The breath of the divine fills both beings equally, creating an exquisite balance in creation. Yet, this harmony fractures when she boldly asserts her independence, defying the essential patriarchal construct that seeks to bind her. "I will not lie beneath you," she declares, a fierce proclamation that reverberates through the annals of time, resonating with countless women who have found themselves confined within the rigid structures of societal expectation. This evolution, from a wife expected to submit to an emblem of defiance, illustrates a remarkable resilience that transcends the ages. Lilith transforms from a mere footnote in ancient texts to a potent modern icon of empowerment, embodying a message that encourages every woman to reclaim her narrative with fervor and pride. As we ponder her legacy, we must ask ourselves, what does it mean for us today to reclaim our own stories, refusing to be constrained by another's limited vision? In Lilith's courageous act of defiance lies a powerful invitation for everyone to embrace their complexities, casting aside the shackles of convention as if they were mere discarded chains. She stands as a radiant beacon for those who dare to rise above oppression, to question the status quo, and ultimately, to evolve into their true selves. Her story calls us forward, not just to eye at her strength, but to recognize that her fight for autonomy is intertwined with our own, stirring our spirits towards a collective awakening. What remains to be seen is how her narrative might inspire us to confront our own limitations and ignite a revolution of self-acceptance and empowerment that mirrors her bold journey through the ages. What if the first woman, the one whose very existence was woven into the fabric of creation before Eve, held a story that resonates deeply within our souls, challenging the narratives we've accepted for so long? Imagine a figure poised at the entrance of paradise, her spirit ablaze with an undeniable independence, one that flickers defiantly against the backdrop of divine perfection. This is Lilith, born from the same rich earth as Adam, whose gaze meets his with a blend of curiosity and defiance, grounding her spirit in a refusal to be merely an echo of his desires. She utters the ineffable name of God, a name so sacred it resonates throughout generations, whispered in hushed reverence yet unspoken in tradition, which catapults her into the wilderness. Here, she embraces solitude over submissive conformity and freedom over the comfort of companionship. Can you truly fathom the weight of such a monumental choice? Imagine stepping away from a garden awash in sunlight, deliberately choosing to embrace the complex layers of your true self, where shadows and light dance intricately together. In that poignant and revolutionary moment, God sends angels, emissaries of divine longing, to urge her return. But Lilith stands resolute, her absence resonating through the cosmos, creating a void that inevitably calls forth another beginning, echoing through time and reverberating in the hearts of those who yearn for authenticity. Thus, Eve emerges, not sculpted from the earth, but lovingly crafted from Adam's rib, drawn from his very essence, not as his equal, but as a companion, a reflection molded to complete him rather than to contest his authority. Yet, this intricate narrative does more than merely sketch the outlines of female identity. It compels us to reflect on our own stories of autonomy and connection. How frequently do we find ourselves ensnared in the delicate balance of belonging and independence within our relationships? Lilith's legacy is not just a relic of the past. It ignites conversations that linger in our contemporary quest for self-discovery, urging both men and women to delve deeper into who we are amid the glorious yet often perplexing complexity of creation and connection. How does her choice inspire us to reclaim our own voices in a world that often seeks to silence them? Each breath we take echoes her defiant spirit, a reminder that to embrace one's true self is perhaps the most sacred journey of all. Imagine if the stories woven into Genesis were like the intricate layers of a tapestry, vibrant with colors and rich in texture, yet often overlooked by the casual observer. What if these tales held deeper complexities, secrets waiting to be unraveled, whispering of a world where partnerships could thrive yet tragically fracture before ever reaching their full potential? At the heart of this exploration lies the figure of Lilith, a name that calls us to question and wonder, found deep within a haunting prophecy in Isaiah 34:14. Here, amid the shadows of words, we encounter her mention. There too, Lilith shall repose and find herself a resting place. But who is this enigmatic presence, lingering like a ghostly silhouette at the edges of our consciousness, hinting at truths we may have forgotten? Lilith isn't merely a creature of the night. She embodies something far more profound, a haunting reminder of female strength and autonomy that our narratives often choose to silence. The Hebrew name Lilith, shrouded in mysteries, vanishes behind modern translations that swathe her identity in less powerful terms, concealing her true significance. Could it be, in our quest to simplify divine narratives, we inadvertently silence stories that bear voices of empowerment? Lilith beckons us to embark on a reflective journey, urging us to consider our own identities and the narratives we embrace. Are there elements of our lives, or even interpretations of biblical texts, that lie buried, hiding essential truths in life's crevices? As we delve deeper into these ancient scripts, do we find room for dialogue, inviting the complexities of creation to breathe, expand, and evolve? In the forgotten tales of Lilith and her sensual Mesopotamian counterparts, the Lilitu, we discover echoes of our own lives, fierce, captivating, and undeniably woven into the fabric of humanity. Each layer we peel back brings forth new questions and insights, urging us to engage with the stories that shape our understanding and stir our imaginations, sparking a dialogue that resonates through generations. What if the legacy of these ancient figures is not just a remnant of the past, but a challenge to confront the shadows within ourselves? A whisper that perhaps our true essence thrives in the acceptance of both light and darkness, guiding us to a deeper understanding of our place within this vast and intricate tapestry called life. This is not just a story. It is an invitation to reclaim our narratives and embody the multifaceted beings we are meant to be. What if the age-old narrative of creation held mysteries far deeper than the familiar tale of just Adam and Eve? Envision the Garden of Eden, a breathtaking tapestry of colors, where each leaf rustles softly, sharing secrets of the universe, each breeze carrying whispers of life's essence itself. Somewhere within this paradise, nestled beneath the boughs of a magnificent tree, a powerful, primal woman, perhaps Lilith, stands, her spirit unbound, embodying a harmony with creation that feels radical and awe-inspiring. In countless interpretations, she emerges not merely as a cautionary figure warning of disobedience, but as a profound symbol of divine purpose, representing the complexities woven into the fabric of existence. As scholars analyze her story, they debate her reality. Was she simply an invention of myth? Or could she have been a memory of a time when the divine feminine flourished alongside the masculine in a sacred dance of equality? Delving into her saga, we can trace her journey through ancient scriptures and mystical traditions, where her essence is both celebrated and demonized, illustrating the timeless struggle between acceptance and rejection. Lilith may have once stood as a beacon of wisdom and insight, an embodiment of strength, transcending the mere shadows of folklore that would seek to define her as something dark or negative. Instead, who might she reveal herself to be when we strip away the myths and fears? The question begs to be explored. What profound legacy remains hidden beneath the weight of distorted tales, waiting for us to uncover it? As we peer into this untold narrative, we might discover the true essence of a woman, beautifully crafted with audacity and resilience, whose voice once soared in defiance, intending to reclaim her rightful place within creation's grand story. Her existence shifts from the realm of mere myth back to vibrant reality, illuminating how the narratives we choose to share can redefine our understanding of identity and our connection to the divine. Are we prepared to confront the implications of embracing her significance within this spiritual tapestry? To honor her journey is not just to acknowledge a forgotten chapter, but to invite her powerful influence into our own lives, reflecting the importance of empowerment and balance within the sacred story unfolding through time. What does it mean for us if we accept Lilith not just as a relic of the past, but as a source of wisdom that resonates in our present, challenging us to rise with courage and strength? What if the true enigma of humanity began not in the grand spectacle of creation, but rather in the veiled whispers of Eden, where the story of a forgotten woman lingers like a half-formed memory? The scriptures unveil a profound moment, God shaping a woman from Adam, but the Hebrew word "tsela" takes us beyond just the anatomy of bone. It opens a portal into something far more significant, suggesting a divine intention steeped in complexity. Imagine, for a moment, the very essence of Adam, not merely dissected for companionship, but purposefully divided to forge an extraordinary tapestry of identity and communion. This act mirrors the duality of a coin, distinctive faces that are profoundly intertwined. In that sacred moment, when Adam lays eyes on her, he doesn't merely acknowledge her presence. He recognizes a lost part of himself, exclaiming, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." This declaration transcends mere acknowledgement. It is a profound recognition of his own spirit reflected back at him. Yet, as we delve deeper into this powerful revelation, the questions swirl. Who was she beyond the shadow of Eden? What vibrant life and essence did she carry into this world? And how did the vast expanse beyond their garden sculpt her identity? The emergence of Eve, or a woman unrecorded by history, unlocks a treasure trove of complexities, igniting our curiosity about the many narratives intertwined within creation, narratives rich with potential and steeped in silence, waiting for illumination. In pondering her significance, we are drawn into a broader exploration of humanity itself, inviting us to seek answers not just in scriptures, but in the myriad stories that shape our existence, forever embedded in the fabric of creation's grand design. And perhaps, as we reflect on this ancient tale, we begin to see how the lines of her story intertwine with our own, echoes of connection echoing back through time, reminding us that we are all part of a larger narrative, intertwined in divine purpose and boundless love. Here, the journey through creation invites us to not merely see her as an afterthought, but to honor her as a vital heartbeat in the story of humanity. For in every soul lies the image of the Creator, waiting to be unveiled. As we step back into the vivid and intricate pages of Genesis, we find ourselves grappling with a startling mystery that resonates through the ages. Was the first woman merely an afterthought, or were there deeper, intertwined complexities at play, intricacies woven into the very fabric of creation? Imagine a universe pulsating with the power of duality, where the first human wasn't just Adam, but an androgynous being, harmonizing the energies of both masculine and feminine, as if they were two notes in an exquisite symphony of existence. This isn't just a fanciful notion. Ancient Jewish mystics also contemplated these realities, hinting that what we perceive as the division outlined in Genesis 2 was not merely separation, but a profound and intentional unfolding, a sacred act meant to foster relationship, understanding, and ultimately, reunion. This causes us to question deeply ingrained assumptions. If Genesis 1 echoes a united humanity emerging together, who truly was the first woman? Was she Eve, crafted from Adam's rib, a companion created from his very essence? Or could it be that an equally complete woman arose from the same divine dust, equally vibrant and whole? Picture her in the lush garden, a testament to the essence of creation, alive with possibility and purpose. Might this sacred narrative harbor the shadowy figure of Lilith, a mysterious entity whose presence compels us to delve into the vast depths of divine intention? As we begin to peel back the layers of these age-old texts, we find ourselves not only contemplating her identity, but also reflecting on what it truly means to explore the full spectrum of human experience, one forever marked by the quest for connection, understanding, and meaning in a world that often feels paradoxical and complex. This inquiry beckons us to open our minds and hearts, to embrace the rich tapestry of creation's interplay, and to question what it means to be rooted in the quest for belonging in a landscape dotted with unanswered questions. Who then could this first woman have been? A figure shrouded in both mystery and intimacy, interlinked with the very essence of life itself. Every question leads us deeper, igniting a flame of curiosity that echoes through the ages. reminding us that the exploration of our origins is not just a journey into the past, but a profound revelation that informs our existence today. Have you ever pondered the enigmatic secrets that lie hidden within the lush and intricate shadows of Eden? Beyond the serene beauty and the lush gardens, beneath the verdant canopies, and among the fragrant blooms, exist the silent stories echoing through the corridors of theology, weaving together threads of truth that have long awaited our attention. Eve, often painted as a solitary emblem of femininity, is frequently cast into a simplistic mold of creation, a narrative that barely scratches the surface of her true significance. But what if we dared to peel back the layers of time in Scripture, unveiling a breathtaking tapestry woven from the very essence of divine purpose and covenant? In that sacred moment of creation, a partnership blossomed, radiating with the interconnectedness of male and female, a divine reflection of unity that captivates our hearts and invites deep introspection into our own relationships today. Imagine yourself at the precipice of paradise, witnessing the first breath of existence, the first whispered promises of creation, not merely as the result of an isolated act, but as a profound covenant intricately formed in the essence of being. It is a divine declaration echoing through time, reminding us that equality possesses a transformative power, one that cannot and should not be overlooked. Could it be that the whispers of another, a name lost to the ever-flowing river of time, perhaps Lilith, lingered tantalizingly close to the truth we seek? An echo resonating with forgotten promise, buoyed by the weight of history, that challenges us to reclaim a narrative too often stifled. It is crucial that we embark on this journey through the text not just with curiosity, but armed with determination, ready to illuminate the shadows in the narrative and reveal that Eve's role transcends the simplistic confines of her origin story. What if her selection was more than just a random choice, but an urgent calling to embrace her purpose, to embody collaboration within a divine framework that brings forth new life and hope? Could this journey through creation lead us to realize that the echoes of Eden persist, resonating in our lives today, urging us toward deeper understanding? As we navigate through the profound silence that hints at deeper meanings and the often overlooked truths that bind us in this mighty covenant, let us elevate our gaze from the fleeting, transient stories of despair to the eternal truths that empower us towards understanding, connection, and love. In doing so, we honor not only the legacy of Eve, but also ignite a spirit of determination necessary to reclaim the stories that shape our very existence and fellowship today. Together, let's awaken the voices that resonate from the roots of our shared humanity, bringing the essence of Lilith, Eve, and all who dwell in the shadows back into the light, reminding us that we are never alone in our quest for truth and belonging. What if the story of Eve unfolds on a canvas much broader than we ever imagined, pulsating with layers of meaning that speak to the deepest yearnings of the human spirit? Rather than merely framing her as a singular figure confined within the ancient pages of Genesis, we can approach her narrative through the lens of divine covenant, a sacred promise that weaves its way through history and through the hearts of all humanity. Picture Eve not just as the first woman, but as an enduring emblem of determination and resilience, a pivotal player whose role resonates with God's intention for connection, purpose, and a relationship that transcends time. This opens a door for the Gnostics, who whisper of a multitude of interpretations that challenge us to reconsider our understanding of her significance in the grand design of creation. Imagine, if you will, a radiant Eve in the spiritual realm, a symbol of divine wisdom, untouched, eternal, and forever shining with light, contrasted against the physical Eve, flesh and bone, who bravely navigates the complexities of a world that often feels unkind and overwhelming. Is it possible that her embodiment carries a deeper divine purpose, one that echoes our own journeys of transformation? Eve's reality, fraught with vulnerability, becomes a mirror reflecting our struggles and triumphs. She embodies the essence of striving, not just for survival, but for a covenantal relationship with God Himself, a relationship that infuses our lives with meaning and hope. Amid this exploration, we cannot ignore the haunting echoes of her narrative that resonate throughout time, compelling us to grapple with the nature of creation itself. What does it mean to be made in the image of God? How do we internalize this divine reflection in our daily lives? This lingering question nudges us gently, reminding us that the biblical narrative is less about her origins and more about the profound connections we forge through faith, determination, and ultimately, a destiny rooted in divine promise. As we embark on this journey through Genesis, let us approach these ancient narratives with hearts wide open, ready to uncover the hidden truths that can illuminate our understanding of purpose in today's world, inspiring us through Eve's legacy as we seek our own paths amidst the rich tapestry of life. In our own individual quests, may we find the courage to embrace both aspects of Eve, the radiant spirit and the embodied soul, celebrating the wholeness of our being as we live out the promise of creation. What if we dared to reimagine Eve not simply as a footnote in the great narrative of creation, but as a towering figure intricately woven into the divine tapestry of purpose and covenant? In the richly layered story of Genesis, Eve embodies much more than just the designation of first woman. She is the pivotal matriarch in a lineage destined not just for survival, but for redemption itself. As we envision her cradling her firstborn, a surge of awe washes over us. There in her eyes lies the weight of prophecy, a gaze that transcends time, each glance a silent prayer reverberating through the ages, carrying the hopes of a future yet to unfold. When Adam names her Eve, a title that means life, it beckons us to reflect. What if this life she signifies is not merely the biological thread connecting humanity, but a profound embodiment of a divine covenant, a sacred promise infused with celestial intention? The Hebrew term che invites us into deeper contemplation, emphasizing that life extends beyond mere existence to encompass a spiritual lineage. It stirs profound questions that resonate in the depths of our hearts. Could it be that there were other women, silent shadows whose stories vanished into the tapestry of time, each possibly holding fragments of the divine narrative? Picture these other women, their silhouettes etched against the dawn, their lives existing simultaneously with Eve, yet their tales remain untold, profoundly significant, yet overlooked. What wisdom might they impart about the covenant of connection essential to our understanding of purpose? Recognizing Eve as the mother not merely of all humanity, but specifically of those within this sacred lineage, the bloodline that would ultimately preserve and deliver the promise of the Messiah, shifts our focus. It is a narrative not just about origins, but about the enduring power of choice, purpose, and agency in God's magnificent design. By reevaluating Eve's role with a fresh lens, we may unveil the rich layers of covenantal significance she offers, prompting us to witness how her steadfast determination helped shape the entire narrative arc of redemption throughout history. Perhaps, then, every heart that beats today is reverberating with a story that is yet to be told, a reminder of the untold legacies that stretch from Eve to all of humanity. Each moment we ponder these connections draws us closer to understanding the depth of our own place in this grand design, illuminating the ever-present possibility that, even in our silence, we might be part of something more significant, more beautifully orchestrated than we can imagine. What if the epic journey of humankind traces its roots not simply to Adam and Eve, but instead unfolds as a divine story, intricately woven into the fabric of creation itself, calling forth profound questions that illuminate our very existence? As we explore Eve's remarkable significance, it is imperative to transcend mere historical context and lineage. We are beckoned into the depths of her divine purpose within God's extraordinary narrative, a purpose laden with destiny. Imagine a serene moment within the paradise of Eden, the golden rays of sunlight filtering through the vibrant foliage, wrapping around her silhouette as she finds herself at a crossroads, embodying not just the first woman, but the very spirit of divine selection amid a world starved for grace and redemption. In this sacred place, the awe of her choice takes root. She was chosen not only to serve a specific role, but to ignite a fresh chapter in a story steeped in legacy and hope. Yet, as we bravely tread into the shadows of the perplexing mystery surrounding Cain's wife and the enigmatic souls outside the gates of Eden, we confront unsettling truths that challenge our understanding. Who were these figures that traversed the earth before Adam inhaled the sacred breath of life? Might they be echoes of a forgotten creation, fragments of a world caught in a longing for belonging and divine love? For centuries, theologians and seekers alike have pondered the tantalizing question: what if Adam and Eve were not the first of humanity, but the heralds of a new covenant, defined not solely by their existence, but by their choices and the divine love that enveloped them? This contemplation beckons us to reflect on our own lives, asking us to confront compelling questions about identity and the nature of our callings. What legacy do we stand to inherit through their story? And how do we choose to carry it forward in a world that longs for purpose? As we navigate these labyrinths of thought, it stirs a reverence within our hearts, urging us to consider how their choices resonate with our lives today. Ultimately, this journey calls us to delve into the profound depths of understanding, illuminating a timeless truth. Every life pulsates with a purpose, intricately crafted by the hand of the Creator, inviting us to embrace our roles in this grand narrative. In recognizing the sacredness of our existence, we are reminded that we too are part of a greater story, one that insists we seek, question, and ultimately strive to embody the divine love that birthed us. In the divine tapestry of creation, have we truly paused to reflect upon the unparalleled significance of Eve? Beyond just a name inscribed in the sacred scriptures, Eve emerges not simply as a figure ensconced in the pages of history. She stands as the very embodiment of God's intricate design, a vital thread interwoven in the greater narrative of redemption. Imagine a world where she is not merely positioned in the shadow of Adam, but instead illuminated by the radiant breath of God, filling her lungs with purpose and vision. In her gaze, we witness the first flicker of divine communion. Her choices resonate through generations, crafting a legacy that intertwines hope with heartache, joy intertwined with sorrow, telling the grand and complex story of humanity's journey to as we delve into Genesis 1:28, where God entrusted this newly formed couple with the monumental task, not just to exist, but to multiply and steward the earth. Could we be witnessing the genesis of a legacy that transcends mere survival? Each commandment delivered is not merely a directive, but a tender whisper of divine intent, urging us toward a deeper understanding of what it means to walk in partnership with the Creator. Yet, amid the burden of such a calling, a profound question arises. Were Adam and Eve simply the first in line, or were they deliberately chosen for the monumental role of charting the course for a promised redemption echoing through the ages? What lessons does their story unfold as we navigate the complexities of our own identities and purpose in this boundless universe? Reflect on this. In a world rife with uncertainty and distraction, how does Eve's journey inspire us to reclaim our own divine purpose? How does her legacy illuminate our path, encouraging us to recognize the sacredness of our existence in a narrative far greater than ourselves? In seeking to understand Eve's place within this grander storyline, we come closer to grasping our own call to significance amidst the tapestry of life. In contemplating the depth of her creation, we also encounter the sorrow of the human condition, the fragility interlaced within divine intent. What echoes of her spirit whisper to us in moments of doubt and despair? How often do we overlook the strength held within our own stories, mirroring the divine spark that ignited her journey. Each of us, like Eve, carries a unique light, one that we are called to nurture and grow, reflecting the brilliance of our Creator. Thus, in accepting our part within this sacred narrative, we are invited to engage in a dance of creation, a harmonious interplay of purpose and passion, echoing the very essence that began in the garden. As we strive to embody this legacy, may we not only seek to understand Eve, but to live out the divine calling that her existence represents, weaving our own threads into the grand design of life itself. Imagine an earth, every corner whispering with potential, every breeze filled with a sense of anticipation and wonder. In the midst of this vast tapestry of creation, we find Adam, not merely cast into the open expanse, but carefully and intentionally placed within the sacred confines of the Garden of Eden. This garden stands not just as a lush oasis, but as a divine sanctuary, a hallowed refuge cradled within a universe alive with mystery and untold stories. Herein lies a profound question. Is Eden a tranquil island isolated within turmoil, or does the entire cosmos already pulse with beings beyond our awareness? The narrative unfolds layers of intrigue, and as we delve deeper into the Word, we come to see Eve not merely as Adam's counterpart, but as a pivotal figure intricately woven into God's grand tapestry of redemption and grace. She emerges as the living embodiment of divine purpose and legacy, inviting us to reflect not only on her monumental role in this spiritual narrative, but also on the rippling effects her existence has on the fabric of humanity itself in the wake of the tragic events surrounding Cain and Abel. We are left grappling with deeper truths, probing the psyche of existence itself. Following the harrowing act of violence, we reflect on where Cain's path leads him. The text takes us with him as he moves from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Yet, the mystery deepens when Cain finds a wife and she bears him a son, Enoch, moments punctuated by the glaring absence of any details about this woman or her origins. Who was she, this woman cloaked in the shadows of biblical history? And why does her existence prompt such relentless speculation? Could it be that Eve's influence, her essence, still endures even amidst this enigma, whispering the unspoken possibilities of our shared humanity? As we ponder her unique significance, we are invited into a realm of reverence, a thoughtful reminder that even amid the silence surrounding the unnamed, there lies a weighty heartbeat of divine intention, an echo reminding us that each life carries a purpose far beyond our immediate comprehension. This prompts us, in turn, to dive deeper into the depths of faith and legacy intertwined within our own stories, the stories of loss, connection, and the endless search for belonging that define the essence of our journey. Imagine the Garden of Eden, a sanctuary of beauty where humanity's first couple, Adam and Eve, thrived. As we delve into Genesis, Eve emerges not only as the first woman, but as a symbol of the divine redemption God weaves for humanity. Standing at the edge of the unknown, Eve looks towards the land of Nod, a realm shrouded in mystery and stories waiting to be told. Could Cain's wife be more than a mere figure in this ancient narrative? She may represent the broader human experience, existing outside the covenant yet embodying God's image, beckoning us to reflect on her significance and the myriad stories surrounding each other. The world outside Eden was not merely exile, but a testament to God's creativity, a glimpse of his craftsmanship. Historian Josephus, while noting Adam and Eve's offspring, also grappled with their lineage's mystery, inviting us to ponder our limited understanding of those who predate us beyond Eden's confines. Rather than viewing this gap as a flaw, it may highlight God's inclusive love, stretching far beyond the chosen lineage that beneath Eden's ample branches. Cain's cautious steps led him into the land of Nod, a mix of foreboding and promise, where life and longing converge. What if souls awaited his arrival, their stories ready to unfold like leaves in the sun. In our quest for understanding, we are urged to embrace the vastness of God's creation, a purpose thriving not just in chronology, but in the legacy of every life, even those lost to history, yet cherished by our Creator. Please us contemplate how humanity's absence in Genesis invites us into deeper mysteries, urging us to recognize the fates of those outside Eden's walls as intertwined with the covenant's establishment. Standing in Eden's shadow, wouldn't it be natural to wonder about those vibrant lives existing parallel to the scriptural narrative? Their presence may not only distract from Cain's journey, but also inspire a broader understanding of creation, each life a thread in the grand design. And silence and anonymity, Cain's wife may very well hold the key to unlocking a more expansive revelation of God's intentions for humanity. What does it truly mean to be a catalyst of hope in a world often cloaked in shadows of uncertainty and despair? Eve, frequently cast into the backdrop of the greater narratives of sin and consequence, emerges not merely as a figure of the past, but as a brilliantly shining beacon of potential and promise. Her story, unfurling within the ancient pages of Genesis, is not just a series of events. It unfolds like a breathtaking work of art, each stroke illuminating not just her origins, but the divine purpose intricately sewn into the very fabric of creation. Imagine this profound reality. She was not simply formed from the dust of the earth that crumbles beneath our feet, but rather drawn from Adam's very side, a gesture that resonates deeply with our innate yearning for connection, partnership, and unity. Herein lies the heart of this profound tale. Eve is far more than just a character in a larger narrative of flawed humanity. She is the vibrant pulse of a story that starts anew with every breath, every heartbeat. She embodies the grace of second chances, an echo of redemption that extends not just to her, but to all of humanity, a universal promise writ large across time and space. Picture this. In her very first breath, the flicker of hope ignites, casting ripples through the ages, setting the stage for the unfolding of divine purpose. It reaches forward to the great vessel of salvation in Noah's Ark, to Abraham, who would emerge as the father of nations, and ultimately to Mary, who would cradle the Savior in her womb like the most precious gift of love and grace imaginable. In this illuminating light, can we begin to embrace the profound depth of Eve's significance? Can we openly acknowledge that she is deftly woven into the very essence of grace itself? Her legacy resonates loudly, inviting us to recognize that every beginning is imbued with the weight of promise, a challenge urging us to look beyond the surface and delve deeply into the soul of God's ceaseless redemptive work unfolding in our lives today. Let us reflect on her story, not as a mere prologue, but as an essential chapter in a grand narrative of love, hope, and divine intention that continues to inspire and guide us as we navigate our own journeys. As we draw closer to the essence of who she is, let us also recognize our own roles in this timeless tapestry, where every thread contributes to the beauty and complexity of existence, illuminating our paths even in the darkest of times. What if the whispers of history reveal a narrative much richer than we've been conditioned to believe? Consider Eve, not merely as the first woman crafted from Adam's side, but as the first remarkable filament in a divine tapestry, a tapestry woven with intricate purpose and unfathomable love. She holds the profound title of mother to a bloodline destined to cradle the light, the very line that would embrace the Messiah himself. Yet, as we delve deeper into the somber tale of her son Cain, who tragically becomes a fratricide and is then cast away into exile, we stumble upon a perplexing mystery. Where did his wife come from? The pages of Scripture hold their secrets tight-lipped, leaving us suspended within a swirling sea of questions and possibilities. Could there be others out there, remnants of humanity intricately woven into the grand design of creation, existing beyond the comforting boundaries of Eden? This radical idea beckons us to envision humanity not as one singular thread, but as a vast, colorful tapestry where each stitch tells its own unique story, deserving of deeper contemplation. What might it mean for us, nestled within our modern lives, to confront the intricacies of such a beginning? If we accept this truth, then Eve's role expands, unfolding before us like a blossoming flower. She is not just the first woman formed, but the first woman called, an ancestor of those who are alive in spirit and purpose, the Che, the living ones who dared to carry the flame of divine destiny. Pause for a moment and let the weight of this understanding settle in. What does it truly mean for you to be a part of a community that is woven intricately into God's magnificent design? How does this reality influence your interactions and relationships with others? As we embark on this reflective journey together, let's actively contemplate how our personal narratives intertwine with these ancient stories, illuminating our purposes as individuals who are vibrantly alive, not simply existing, but fully engaged in the eternal, transformative saga of grace, community, and connection. Every one of us contributes to this ongoing story, a living testament to hope and faith, as we recognize that our journeys, intertwined as they are, illuminate the paths of others in ways we may never fully grasp. Share your own experiences, for together we can explore the vastness of our shared spirit and the divine paths we are called to walk, igniting within us a sense of belonging and shared mission that echoes through the ages, inspiring future generations to embrace their own place in this divine narrative. Have you ever sensed that the stories you've always known hold deeper truths beneath their surface? The sacred pages of Scripture are not just narratives. They are intricate layers of divine artistry crafted for those willing to look deeper. Imagine God as a master storyteller, inviting us into an adventure filled with wonder. Each narrative twist uncovers opportunities for insights, guiding us through the uncertainties of our questions and illuminating wisdom beyond our visible context. Proverbs 25:2 aptly states, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to search it out," inviting us closer to the divine. God conceals not to keep us in mystery, but to draw us nearer, offering the profound gift of discovery. The hidden stories and layers of meaning are waiting for seekers like us, those bold enough to linger in the mystery. Have you reflected on your journey? What soul-stirring questions have surfaced? And what treasures have you discovered? Engaging with these ancient narratives invites us into a richer relationship with the divine, breathing life into our personal stories. Each question we dare to ask expands our understanding, engaging us with childlike curiosity. In the labyrinth of faith, our search is personal, intertwined with the community fabric and resonating in harmony with God's whispers as we journey together. Consider what lies waiting within these sacred pages, an undiscovered part of your story intertwined with the greater narrative of creation. Eve is not merely the first woman, but a profound symbol of destiny. This exploration opens doors to a continuous journey, where we see ourselves anew in the sacred dance of connection. Each layer revealed enriches our understanding of God's care for us. Let's step boldly into the possibilities ahead, exploring the mysteries binding us and discovering divine threads woven through our stories. Each step reveals the beauty of God's plan written in each of us as we embrace our unfolding destinies in His love,